Let's see. As far as I know, we're broadcasting. And
Oh,
yes,
right.
we are. Ladies and gentlemen, because we don't know when to quit, it's Fun with Bob and Lynn. We just stopped the Ustream broadcast not even 2 minutes ago. After acknowledging that we had nothing to talk about really, and immediately Lynn says, we could Spreaker one. Okay, let's do that.
Let's Spreaker it.
Because this way, of course, we've got, now this with Spreaker, this goes to YouTube and SoundCloud and Twitter and Facebook, everywhere. So,
oh my goodness. So we better make this one good.
So let's repeat everything we just said.
No. But actually, you know what? You're going to want to tune in tomorrow night, too, because we're going to have a whole jam session with the fam. A jam with the fam. That's what we call it. Jam with the fam.
Who wouldn't want to tune in to the
But this is not just any fam. This is Molly Benson, actor and voiceover artist extraordinaire, and Dan, who does the graphics for Fox Sports News for the Giants, and Bob Doyle of The Secret, and Lynn Rose, or whoever she is, and Susie Rose, who sang duet with Michael Bolton and all sorts of commercials, and Sophia, little 5-year-old niece, and my mom and her other half, and my stepdad, and who knows who might make an appearance, but definitely 3 ukuleles will be involved.
That's right. Okay.
And various, I think we've got a kid's accordion.
Yeah.
We've got some
I think we got the
percussive instruments.
We brought a recorder. We even have a jaw harp.
Oh my God, how awesome.
And the slide whistle.
I love it.
So yeah, it should be quite noisy.
Yeah.
So you won't want to miss that, boys and girls.
That's right.
If that is your real name. Well, we just are going to talk like this for the rest of the show as if there were something wrong with the broadcast, but actually there's not.
That's funny. You make your voice really sound like that.
Yes. Okay, so we actually just drove through Cowtown, which if you didn't watch the live Ustream broadcast, and why you wouldn't, I have no idea, because it was dark and mysteriously lit.
You missed Lynn almost hitting something in the car, and then us about choking on the stench from the cows.
Yeah, it was really more like there were dead cows, truly. I mean, it was not just like manure, it smelled like death.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
It did.
So
I was thinking that too. I didn't want to say it out loud. Now we just did.
Yep. Wow, and there's no going back. It's live. It's out there.
Oh, no.
It's out there.
Oh, no.
It is, whatever. So we are on our way. If you didn't see the show, which I know you didn't because we had no viewers except for one at one point. And
peeked in, said hi, and goodbye.
And they wouldn't. See, here's the thing. We're trying to make it
interactive.
Yeah, there are no messages in chat. But here, there is a chat window here. So I'm going to say hi again. And we're going to give somebody else an opportunity to play with us. I love it. I just sent a text, a chat. Now, here's the thing. I'm not really sure how this all works, though. I think to do the chat, you have to be on the Spreaker page, and depending on how you're listening to this, I don't even know how you would have to have seen it post on Facebook or follow the Twitter post. And I think this is right now, it's only I think it's posting in our Fun with Bob and Lynn, which doesn't get nearly as much the traffic as our other ones do. So again, we're kind of up against the probably not being seen thing. We're going to have to, if we're going to get serious about this, we're going to have to start doing Facebook ads or something. We're going to have to start doing, or something to get people to tune in, give them a reason. Because we've been in experimentation mode for months now, and now we have at least we've devoted to doing the show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. live, or at least something new to broadcast. But I think there's got to be something that we can do to get listeners, and it's
like be entertaining, maybe.
That would be an awesome start. But the other part of it is that we do want the show to be interactive. The reason we want listeners is not just so that more people can hear us talk, but we want to hear them. I mean, we want them to communicate with us.
Play with you
via text or chat or whatever. It depends on the technology that we're using.
We thought it could be really fun where you would type in, hey, write a song about, and just whatever you might say. Cats on a hot tin roof. I mean, whatever. You would tell us, and we would just write a song on the spot.
If you care about that stuff.
Or let's say we're just gonna have this. We love doing fun characters and voices and skits, and then we could maybe even do some live improv and just play with you.
Or you can just ask us questions about whatever.
Talk about XYZ.
Lynn and I have very interesting backgrounds, and there's all sorts of questions that you could ask. Like for example, Lynn.
Yes.
You
sound like our listeners. listeners that don't know what questions to ask.
Yeah. So anyway,
and ask nothing.
It's up to you to ask.
Just ask a question.
Okay, so now we're kind of just stuck in this really obnoxious.
This is why you
I almost turned the phone out to show you, and it's audio. So
we're gonna convoy. We're meaning not a convent, but a convoy. Like all the trucks, they're moving slow, and it's a 2-lane highway, and you're just kind of stuck going at their pace because they're owning the road.
Anyway, so there is a way to chat with us.
Yes.
And if you're listening to this, which you probably aren't, but if you are, you have to somehow make your way to the Spreaker page, and then I know somewhere on the bottom right of the page there's a little chat balloon looking thing. It's really hidden. I don't know why they do it that way.
What?
But then that would be a way to chat with us, and I think we need to make an offer to the first person to chat with us live.
Well, that would be so cool. What's
I know.
the offer?
I don't know. We could make it really amazing. We could make it amazing because no one's there.
Like a strategy
session. We have absolutely nothing to lose.
Like a strategy
All right,
session.
okay, a strategy session. So now there's different ways we could strategize.
Whatever it's about for them.
It's 20 minutes. We do 20 minutes of our time to help you.
On the phone.
Let's say that there's something you're up to in your life. You're a speaker, maybe, or you're an author, or you're whatever. You want to start a business, whatever it is.
Or maybe it's about law of attraction, and heck, whatever it is, that
whatever.
we could be of service.
That's
20
right.
minutes of our time to be of service to you.
Yeah, I mean, a strategy session, you could call it a coaching call, whatever. Things that we are high ticket, high dollar items. We'll have a personal conversation with you, and if
That's right.
and give you 20 minutes of our time. But the thing is this: you have to be listening right now, which is 7:45 p.m.
And
Pacific Standard Time.
Spreaker chat box right now.
And you have to get to Spreaker, and you have to type in anything,
something,
anything at all, just to let us know that you're there.
What's your favorite wine? I want to go to Florida. Whatever it might be.
Right. We passed a billboard that said something about a winery. I'm guessing that's where that came from.
Exactly. Well, whatever it is. Interact.
Right. Or, actually, well, I don't know. I don't think that...
Or keep not being there.
Or, just continue to not listen, ever. Well, how about for the people who do listen to the replay?
That's true.
What could we do?
It tends to be, I'm one of those people, too. I rarely ever listen live. I always just listen on my own time. Replay. That tends to be our listeners are people who listen after the fact. But let's see. Let's make.
Well, what if it was like the first person to comment on our Facebook or just somehow acknowledge that they heard this
and ask a question that we would address, something that could make it interactive, dealing with something they put out there, right?
You mean it's about the show? You mean
whatever about us? About I'd love to hear you do a song about XYZ. Oh, do a skit with the voice of an elf crossed with a queen. I mean, whatever.
Okay.
I'm making it up. But I'm just,
I know.
Whatever it is.
Whatever. I just acknowledge that you heard us. And the first person to do that will give them a strategy session. And I don't know, like if we get suddenly inundated, we'll figure something out. Maybe we can do it. Or we'll get you.
You have so much time right now.
I know.
We're so busy. It's great. We're doing a lot of awesome things, but definitely our time is busy.
Our time is woo.
Okay.
Now, where is the? Oh, there it is. I was looking for the clock to see how much time we have left. 21. If we can go 30 minutes, I don't think we will.
Let's just actually talk about something, shall we?
Okay, you go first.
Okay, let's talk about your crazed obsession of love for dogs, which I love that you have that. But I mean, you could be in the most stressed place, and along comes a dog or a picture of a dog. You're like, oh! You just melt at the sight of a dog.
It's true.
It's really true, and there's something about dogs that just so speak directly to your heart and light you up. So talk about that.
Well, I'm not alone in that, obviously.
No, but you're not just like, we all love dogs and puppies, unless there's something wrong with you. But you are like at a whole other level of dogness. I mean, literally.
Dogness.
Yeah, whole other level.
I was a cat person my whole life. I grew up with cats, and I loved cats, and I didn't get dogs. And in fact, we had, for some period of time in my childhood / early adulthood, or late teen, whatever it was, we did have dogs. We did have dogs, but we were terrible dog owners. We did not know how to have dogs, and we kept them in the kitchen with newspaper on the floor, and they couldn't run around the house, and we didn't have a fenced-in yard. We never walked them, and they were just, I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was terrible. And there was no affection. They were just like pain in the butt, basically. And they'd get out of the kitchen to be like, oh no, they got out. We'd chase them around the house, and then put them back in the kitchen. It was a miserable thing. And then for a while, after I went to school and stuff like that, then they lived in the garage for a while, but it was still just a miserable.
Wow.
And then there was a small sort. Anyway, I never had the dog heart experience, where you were just like, one of the dogs with a peekapoo, and the other dog, and then the other one was like some sort of, I don't know, poodle mix or something like that. And whatever, I just never. Like, I wish I could do it again. Like, I wish I could start over with those dogs and say, okay, I get it now. And they would have such a different life. Yeah. Such a different life. But, so I didn't have dogs again for a long time after that. And then, I don't know, I guess in around I want to say 94-ish maybe or so.
Oh, wow.
Maybe 95.
Way into your adulthood years.
Yeah. So we got a dog that was found running around with the family, and it was a dog that had been found running around out in the woods, kind of just this hound dog type of thing. And we named her Belle, and just changed our lives. Certainly changed my life. Just the connection, and just one of those big dogs who just sleeps in your bed with the head on the pillow, and just so loyal and just so awesome. But she was kind of a wild houndy dog, and we also didn't have a fence. We lived in condos then, and she would just run out and normally just stay right in the backyard, do her business, and come back in. And then she'd get into this whole thing about digging holes, and it was a mess. But every now and then she'd start to wander off a little bit longer, but she'd always come back. Anyway, so we all just totally fell in love with this dog. Just like, oh my God, I can't believe I wasted so many years with cats. I'm kidding. I had some good cat years, but once that dog thing hit, and that they get in your heart the way they do, and it was just like, okay, well, I'm never not having a dog. So the sad part of this story is that Belle got hit by a car one night, and
after you had her, how long?
It really wasn't that long. I don't even think we had her a year. I really don't think we even had her a year.
Okay.
I have never in my life felt that kind of pain and loss. It was like I just never had experienced that kind of pain. It was just horrifying, and it was one of those deals where it's totally surreal and horrible. And anyway, just cut ahead to dealing with the grief. You go online, help. What do I do? I'm so completely devastated. And across the board, everybody was said, I know this sounds like something you probably don't want to think about, but get another dog. Get another dog as soon as you can possibly bring yourself to get one. And I felt resistant around it at first because, it's just like, what, are you kidding me? But we did, and it was definitely good advice, because that emptiness, you have all of that love, that whatever that is that opens up with the dog, and then you have another place to direct it, and they come, and all dogs just give it right back immediately. And so we got our second dog, who was Nutmeg, and it was just so, amazing.
And how long did you have Nutmeg for?
Nutmeg just recently. Nutmeg, how old did she live? Nutmeg pretty much died of old age, but she had this sort of. Anyway, we had to put her down, which was also devastating.
What year did she die?
That was really just a few years ago, when right before we got. Dolce, or no, right after we got Dolce, or something like that. I'm getting crossed over. I think we had Dolce for a little while, yes, and then we had to let Nutmeg go. But then Dolce's 4 or 5. So anyway, but it was just time. It was time. But the point is that ever since losing that first dog, and then getting the other ones, every time I get around a dog and hold it for even just a certain amount of time, it's like this is really expansive feeling. I think it's just that unconditional love that you get, like you don't get that from cats. You don't get that feeling. Or some cats, yes, but overall the reputation for cats is that they're kind of aloof and they do their own thing or whatever.
And if you've been in a family where it has been as much expressive outward love, to where your heart has been expanded, to then experience that, even if it comes through the form of a dog, I mean, there's nothing like being able to feel that type of love. It's so beautiful. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, So I definitely have and I'm terrible about